Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a really simple bow wrist strap out of paracord. This is the wrist strap that came with my bow, but I'm going to use the paracord to make something new, something a little more decorative and a little more fancy. So here's what you'll need. 2 different colors of 550 paracord, cut to length at 105 inches. This will give you a strap with a finished length of 25 inches and about 3 inches to spare. In this video, I've cut my paracord to 130 inches in length, and I had 28 inches left over. So that was a little bit more wastage than I would have liked. So if you're aiming for a wrist strap of 25 inches, cutting your paracord to 105 inches is going to give you enough to work with. The tools you'll need are fairly simple. We need sharp scissors to cut the paracord, a lighter or a flame torch to seal the ends, and a small metal object. We use this just to push against the area where we've melted the ends, and it just gives us a nice flat finish. I just used a coin, but use whatever you've got on hand. So here's my paracord. I've chosen to use black and neon orange camo paracord. And I purchased this from Camcords based in South Geelong in Victoria. But you can buy an equivalent, you can buy different colors from the same supplier or different suppliers. I'll put some links in the comments where you can purchase the same colors that I've got here. The first thing I need to do is find the center point of both the cords. And once we place the 2 center points together, we can get started. Now that I've found the center points, I'm going to lay my orange cord in front of me and the black cord perpendicular, or 90 degrees to that, like a compass. The orange is laying north to south and the black is laying east to west. Getting this started is a little tricky. I'm going to take the bottom or the south orange cord and pass that underneath the black cord. So now it's in the north position. Then we do the opposite for the other part of the orange cord, bringing that north part underneath the black cord, placing it in the south position. And then we do the same for the black cord. We take the east part, pass it underneath and move it to the west. Take the west part, pass it underneath to the east. Now, we just repeat this pattern until we reach the desired length. We have to pull the cords tight to make sure that we've got a tight weave through here. And then we just repeat the pattern, orange under, black under, black under. I've made a little bit of a mistake here in that I wasn't consistent in where I was placing the strands as I was taking them under. So make a decision. Are you taking your north strand first or south strand first? Are you taking your east strand first or your west strand first? And which quadrant are you moving your strand into? Are you taking your north strand to the east side or to the west side? If you're consistent about where you're moving each strand, then you're going to get a much more consistent pattern and it will just look a little bit nicer. You can see that I got a little carried away. My original wrist strap is only 21 inches, but I've finished up with a 25-inch wrist strap. But now we need to tie off these ends. The first thing we do is pull the cords through nice and tight. We are going to loosen off the last weave, so we're just looking to pull through any excess cord before we do that. We do need to be mindful that this end is going to have to fit through the leather yoke on the bow, so we want to keep it nice and thin. Let's take a closer look. I want these black cords to sit nicely along the bottom without crossing over. Then I'm going to pinch the last weave on one of the orange cords just to loosen it enough that I can feed the black cord back through it. Once I've done that, I do the same on the other side, loosening that orange weave and poking the black cord through. Once that's done, we need to make sure that it's nice and neat. Pull it all tight. Start with the black cords and then the orange ones. We also want to make sure that the diameter of the end is similar to the original wrist strap because it needs to fit through the same hole. Take those sharp scissors and cut one of the black cords nice and close to the weave. We can then seal it with the lighter. And finally press that metal object onto the heated cord. It's important to use metal because the cord gets really hot and you don't want to burn yourself, some plastic or wood. The metal isn't going to be affected by the heat and provides a nice solid surface to push against to keep this end nice and tidy. Another pull on the orange cords ensures they're tight before we cut and melt that second black cord. Finally, we can cut and melt those orange cords too. And here we have it, our finished wrist strap for our bow. Here's my bow. It's a Bear Cruiser G3 in the wildfire color pattern. We can see how well the colors on my new wrist strap go with this bow. I'm really happy. I haven't removed the leather yoke from the bow, so I'm just going to feed the wrist strap straight on. A little twist to help it through the hole, and it fits through quite nicely. This is the end where I started the weave, so it's a little bit narrower than the end that I finished on. Okay, flip it over and let's get this second end in. It's a little tougher to fit through, but luckily for me, I've got the perfect tool to help me out. This pen is really great for just stretching open that hole a little bit wider enough that I can get the paracord wrist strap through. Wiggle, wiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Great, it's through. Now I just have to adjust it to the right length for my wrist. A little bit more wiggling, a little bit more jiggling. And ta-da! All done. I can't wait to test this out.